every single week. And what that means is there are certain instruments that we cannot really effectively use, such as an organ. It's really hard to tear down a pipe organ. They're not the most mobile instrument. And we felt like, look, a lot of the churches do what we would call traditional worship really well. And so we wanted to fill a different niche. And so we have what a lot of people would generally call contemporary worship. There's a lot of names that it goes by, but essentially we have guitars, drums, vocalists, keyboard, things like that, more mobile instruments. And so what that does is it also makes our worship a lot more upbeat. We also tend to be a lot more informal. So how I'm dressed today, this would be a typical Sunday morning attire for me. Blue jeans, sneakers, a button shirt or a jacket over a t-shirt. And everyone who attends our church essentially dresses very similar. And so, we're a lot more casual in the way we do church. And then again, the other thing that we think really sets us apart is this idea of our vision of building community that makes a difference. We think every church has a vision. Some churches are really clear on what that vision is, and they articulate it, they can share it, they can tell you what it looks like. Other churches have a vision, they just don't know, and so they're kind of wandering. And because we're brand new and because we really have to make a niche for ourselves, we think it's really important that we know what that is. And again, that's all about drawing people together and then mobilizing people to go out into the world and do something that makes a difference in it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Friends, again, we're joined today with Reverend John Martin, who is the pastor at the Foundation United Methodist Church, a new church start in Vestal. So I have so appreciated hearing about the history that has brought you up to the launch that has brought you up to today. So what's next? What's up your sleeve? What do you have that's exciting and such that people need to know about what's moving forward from this time?
Yeah, so look, this is the holiday season in churches. This is the Christmas season. We are so excited to have our very first Christmas Eve service. We launched after Christmas last year, so this is the first time for us. We're going to have candles, we're going to have a family service, but we're still going to do this in a contemporary way, just similar to the way we worship, very casual, contemporary guitars and whatnot. But we're going to have that Christmas Eve service at 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. But we're doing something, so again, every month we try to be involved in mission. And this month, Christmas is such a busy time. We said, do we do this mission? Do we do that thing? Do we try to partner with this local organization or this local group? And we said, everyone is so busy during Christmas time. Let's do something that we haven't done yet, and that's direct all of our energy toward like a special offering and a special ministry. And so we spent a lot of time trying to figure out what's the right ministry to partner with. And we have a member of our church who's, I don't know if it's an optometrist or an ophthalmologist. I always get these two confused. He's an eye doctor of some sort.
An eye guy,
but every year he partners with an organization called Remote Area Medical. And he spends he volunteers, donates a week of his time and his expertise to go with hundreds of other doctors of all medical professions. And they go to a remote area, often in the Appalachian region, and they provide free medical care. All that they can. So dentists, doctors, eye doctors, and they do all they can for people in a week to kind of help them with their health care. This is such an awesome organization that we said, look, let's throw ourselves behind this Christmas. And so this Christmas Eve, for our very first Christmas season, our very first service, we're gonna put 100% of our Christmas offering to Remote Area Medical. And that's something that we just feel like this is a great thing to be a part of and a great way to let people know that, hey, we love you, God loves you, and to show this in more than just cheap talk, with real action. Going beyond Christmas, though, into the new year, we're pretty excited. We're starting a brand new New Year's series, and a lot of people try to find New Year's as a time to better themselves. And some people, they buy those, have you ever seen those like word-a-day calendars? They're always like really big words, and people are like, onomatopoeia, what does that mean? And they're learning these massive words. So we said, let's take a different approach to that. Let's do a word a week, but really small words. And so for the first 4 weeks, we're going to do the words yet, with, and for. And what we're doing is really we're teaching people about the way that God works in their life with those small words. And so we're going to walk through 4 different scriptures that emphasize those tiny words. And then let people apply that to their lives. So we're pretty excited about that. And then, of course, if we were to push out a couple months, we're really looking forward to our 1-year birthday. The first year is a really exciting year. Our church has experienced a lot of change and a lot of growth and a lot of things. But we're really excited to celebrate that. And so on April 8th, it's the Sunday after Easter, we'll celebrate our 1-year birthday. And that promises to be cool. And because we try so hard to partner everything, our big days are always mission days. We'll probably have some kind of awesome mission opportunity for people after that. So it's not just a party for us, it's a party to go help others and do something meaningful in our world. So
that's exciting, because one of the things I'm learning as I continue to journey through ministry is people in this community are doing wonderful things already, and the church, their responsibility is to find what they're doing and partner with them, walk alongside them rather than reinventing the wheel all the time. And it seems like you really have your finger on the pulse of that.
Yeah,
and that's exciting. That is wonderful. So how do our viewers and our listeners and such things, how do they connect with you? How can they know more about what's going on, where you're meeting, your online presence? Can you take us through that?
Yeah, so right now, you heard me say we don't have a building of our own, we rent. But our physical location is 400 Mirador Road in Vestal. It's right up behind the Vestal High School. So tons of people drive by it, tons of school buses drive by it all the time. And we have a sign out front, although the craziest thing, signs aren't the greatest way to get people to come into your church or to even know your church exists. For us, what we found is our online presence is one of the biggest ways. And so we have a website, foundationumc.com. It's really easy to remember. It's just our name, .com. And that's a great way to connect with us. But, we found even more than websites, a lot of people spend a lot of time on social media, things like Facebook, Instagram, even some folks use Twitter. We have all of those. And so, you can search us at Foundation UMC on Facebook or Foundation UMC on Instagram. Even if you want to connect with our youth group, Foundation UMC Youth on Instagram. And these are all great ways to get a hold of us. We're pretty active on those places, trying to let people know what we're doing, what's coming up. And that's an easy way to see more about us, I guess.
Awesome. Well, let me ask you this. We have about 3-4 minutes left. This has been quite a journey for you.
Yeah.
From Lake Placid to arriving here, future unknown, and here we are. What gets you out of bed in the morning? What excites you? It's probably a bit different than it was maybe a year ago, but what is it today that gets the passion and the heart pumping? And
yeah, so this is a funny thing, and people who know me best are often surprised when I share this with them. But I tend to be one of those guys that when I go to church, if I go to church on my own and I'm not the pastor, I'm visiting somewhere, I like to sit in the back. When I go to the movies, I like to sit in the back and sneak in the theater like toward the end of the credits or toward the end of the previews, so I'm like hidden there. When I sat in class in school, I would often sit in the back and kind of keep quiet. And so people who went to high school with me are often surprised when they find out I'm a pastor up in the front, because I often prefer to be kind of hidden and stay back. But the funniest thing is, the thing that I love the most about what I do in ministry in general, and specifically what I do with church planting and what we're doing at Foundation, is the relationships and the connections with people. I love, for me, a good day is not a day spent in the office. It's not a day working hard online or on the website or sending out emails or writing sermons. A really good day for me is a day filled with meetings with people that I don't know. Getting to know new people, getting to know people I kind of know better. That's the stuff that's the most exciting for me is those relationships. And we've really seen a lot of that stuff come to fruit with this church planting thing. People that I'll meet, and I had a guy, the first time I met him, said to me, "Look, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't want anything to do with church. Don't try to convert me." That was the way we introduced ourselves. I said, "Look, man, I just want to get to know you. My name is John. It's nice to meet you."
Yes.
He became our every Sunday sound guy at our church, became the first new member of our church, and got baptized in our church. I love the relationships, and not every relationship ends that way. Some people say I don't want anything to do with it,
they mean it.
But for me, I just genuinely love the opportunity to get to know people and chat with people, and a lot of times we see tremendous fruit grow out of that, whether it's in the short term or in the long term, and so that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. In about 30 seconds or so, let me ask this. I've been wanting to ask this for a while. What is the paramount thing that you've learned through this process? It's been quite a process from beginning to where you are now, is there, in 30 seconds or so, is there something that you've learned above all else?
So this has been an incredible faith opportunity. And, you know, God is always faithful, and God is always present. But oftentimes we don't give God the opportunity to be faithful to us. We think I can do this and I don't need it, or we think God will let me down, and we don't give God the chance. And for us, this has forced us to give God lots of opportunities to be there, to grow our faith, to care for us. And God has proven faithful every single time. So that's the most important thing I've learned.
Yeah. So many times we don't need faith because our lives are so small. we can do it on our own. You know, find those things that go beyond. Well, my friend, thank you for being a part of us here today, and continued blessings on the Foundations United Methodist Church. They have a wonderful pastor, great leadership, and we're excited to see maybe this time next year we'll get together right here again, and let's see where things shake out.
Absolutely. Mark, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Friends, we're so glad that you were able to spend this time with us. And again, I hope you have a very blessed Christmas time and going into the new year of 2018. May God be with you this day and all your days. God bless.